When I'm feeling overwhelmed, I ground myself with a little self-care. And sometimes that doesn't look like a massage or a face mask, but rather a hearty Tuscan soup and a reset of my space. Share my Monday reset with me.
Hello and welcome. Today is going to be a Monday reset. I don't know about you, but whenever I have a really busy weekend, I find that my Monday morning, I feel really overwhelmed. And it's probably because this weekend I had a lot of news that weren't positive, and they sort of like not frazzled me, but it made me realize that time is passing and there are things that I need to do in order to make sure that the people around me are taken care of, and particularly my elderly mum. She's 78 this year, and bless her, she's doing really well for her age. She lives independently. She's a very independent person. She's very happy and content with her life. But there are things that I've noticed that have started slipping through the cracks that she's unable to deal with on her own. And so I'm having to deal with stepping up and taking over those areas of her life that she's not managing as effectively. That's something that I realized this weekend, and it kind of made me feel a bit like sad, because that area of where it made me feel a little bit sad, because it made me realize that that season in my life where my mum would take care of me has now reversed, and now I need to step up and take care of her, which I'm completely happy to be able to do for her. But it's just when you realize that that season in your life has arrived, it makes you realize that there could be a day where she may not be here for me. Anyway, this is not supposed to be a sad video. It's just that it's something that I realized this weekend, that times are changing and I need to start putting in place some changes in order to manage that new chapter in my life with my mum. Anyway, what do we get up to this weekend? This weekend was super busy. It was a very social weekend. I caught up with friends. I caught up with family. We went out. Kevin and I went to the Williamstown Italian Festival, which is absolutely fabulous. They had Italian music. They had Italian food. It was really lovely. And I love going to Williamstown. I grew up in West Footscray, and so Williamstown is very close to me. So I've got fond memories of that area. I love the beach. And so I love that area. And whenever I go and spend some time there, I always think I'd love to be able to live close to the beach. And Williamstown Beach is so close and central that it could be a possibility when Kevin and I retire that, you know, we sell up here and we move somewhere close to the beach. And Williamstown would be the ideal sweet spot, because it's sort of close enough to where I feel all my children are going to be settling later on. Anyway, this video is going to be a Monday reset. There's a lot of areas in my house that they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But with the changes in season, moving from summer through to autumn and then through to winter, I feel like they need to just change a little bit. And what I find that I like to do in that time is, before I actually go and move and change decor, I like to just sort of take it back down to basics, strip it down to basics, take everything off and live with that for a couple of days, and just see then where I feel I want to introduce some decor pieces. And I think that that also helps me when I'm feeling overwhelmed. There's a lot going on in my life at the moment. With work, I'm organizing a meet and greet, which is taking a fair deal of effort, and it's making me realize that it's probably not likely that I will do a meet and greet interstate, because the time and effort and the people and the support that I need in order to make an event like this happen is not going to be as easily available to me were I to do it interstate. So if you're sitting on the fence about coming to the Melbourne one, for whatever reason, this might be an opportunity for you to perhaps make the most of it, because I can't see another one coming in the near future. Never say never, but I can't see me going through this and then some more effort in order to be able to schedule this interstate. I'd have to find a photographer interstate. I'd have to find a location interstate. I hadn't realized the cost and the time factor involved in actually organizing a meet and greet. It's not just a matter of booking a restaurant and, you know, and people come. It's about being able to have something that's of value to you as an attendee, that you're happy to pay for. And it's not it's not that simple. This one here has been capped at $35 because that's the minimum that I can charge in order to be able to recover my costs in order to hold the event on a Friday. Had I held it on the Saturday, the costs would have doubled for you because it would have doubled for me as well. And also, in order to recover the cost, I need to make sure that it's a packed audience. So at this stage, I need to have at least 40 people in the event in order for me to recover my cost in just booking it and running it, let alone my own time and effort of being there, of then editing the content later on and putting it all out there. So it's a big job. I'm loving it, I'm enjoying it, but it's not something that I would do again. Long story short, but if you're sitting on the fence about coming to the Melbourne one for whatever reason, I highly recommend you to come. It's going to be fun. I have a number of brands that are involved. I have products that are being sent that I am collating for you. So it's going to be a really fun event, and that's what I'm trying to do. There are still tickets for sale, so if you're considering, do grab your ticket, and I'd love to meet you. Now, let's get started for my Monday reset. The kitchen is quite tidy. We had a problem with the dishwasher last night and it came up with an error message, but fingers crossed, it's now all resolved, so it's getting better. I'd like to clean up all this space, and then as a reward, I believe there's some mail for me at the PO box. It might be Kevin. We share the PO box between him and I, and so I don't know whose mail it is, but he's been advised that there is mail there, so I'm going to pop over there and check it out for him because he's busy today. I'm busy too, but for me it'll be a treat to go and do it, and I'll take you along with me. So our mail to tell us to come and pick up from our PO box is pretty much bills from Australia Post for the PO box. One day I'll become a big influencer and my PO box will be full of promo items. What do you think? Oh well, not today. I know it looks a little bit bare and needs a pop of colour, but I'm just going to live with it for a little bit until, inspiration strikes me. And then I'll do something with this space. At the moment, it's just neat, tidy, minimalistic, which is perfect for how I'm feeling today. This is Kevin and mine wedding album, and it's one of those things that I love having out, but we never actually look at the photos anymore. Yeah, I'm going to do a little quick check for you. Groomsman, very old. This was back in 1995, a lifetime ago. That was our wedding cake. I didn't go traditional. So I love having it out because sometimes I look at the photos and they bring me joy, but I also don't want to waste it or wreck it. So I think I'll just put it away for the moment, for the time being, just until I feel the urge to bring it back out again. One of the final areas that I always have to tidy up is my office. For some reason, it goes crazy, and I really literally only tidied it up last week, but it's looking a little bit crazy. And again, if my mind is overwhelmed, I find that my space also becomes overwhelmed. So this is the last area that I'm tidying up. I made myself a coffee because I find that making myself a coffee just sort of grounds me a little bit and makes me calm down a little bit. And then we'll get this sorted. It's really not that big an area to tidy up, but I'm just feeling overwhelmed today. So yeah, let's get it done, and then I'll feel so much better. And then I think I received a message from the post office telling me that I have a parcel. Maybe, fingers crossed, we'll see. Anyway, let's spin you around. This is a new pair of jeans that I've just bought from Kmart. They're the barrel high rise. I'm going to style them, hence why they're sort of sitting over my chair. They can stay there for a little bit. My bags, I've swapped out a couple of bags this week, and I've just been too lazy to put them away. So let me just sort them out, empty them out. It's my current bag. It can go there. Old bag. Okay. All this has to go in my room. It's a box of new shoes that I just recently bought, and I'm wearing them in. I bought them from, what's that store? Mountford's in Doncaster. They were having a sale, and they had these beautiful leather shoes, which I insert a footage of. I think I wore them yesterday, so I'll insert a screenshot here of what the shoes are. They're the Ryland DJ Tan Natural Rope by Diango and Juliet. And they're like a pair of espadrilles with a little bit of a heel. I wore them all day yesterday and I was super comfortable in them. Things that have to go out can go there. I've had this lipstick for a long time and I've never worn it a long time, maybe a year or so. It's in my stash of things to use up. A matte pink. See how it goes. This is my camera pouch. All the bits and bobs that go with my camera, so it needs to go in my bag. See, that wasn't too big a job to be done, but when my mind is overwhelmed, I struggle to get organized like that. Okay, now I'm going to tick off the things that I wanted to get done. I love ticking things off because it makes me feel accomplished. Okay, now what I need to do is some admin work. I've got to get onto the phone and make some phone calls and work up my laptop. So let me spin you around and show you what I've accomplished in the house in probably, what time is it? In about 2.5 hours. So yeah, it just sort of, I got things done. I feel better. I feel more organized and in control. And my space also looks like it's more organized and in control, which is really what's important when I start feeling overwhelmed because of all the things that I've got, that I feel I've got going on. Hey, Louie, what are you doing? What are you doing? Do you know that my friends would have loved for you to come to my meet and greet, but cats aren't allowed, I don't think, at Westfield? You don't care, do you? Look at you, cleaning yourself. Louie Pewee, hello, hello, hi, hello. Where are you off to? Where are you off to? Hey? All right, let me show you my office. A little bit tidier than what it was. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I've been collecting my empties for about 6 months.
thinking that I'll do a monthly empty, and then it's overflowing. Basically, this basket here is all my monthly empties of stuff, things that I've read. Those are just presents, so I don't worry about those. But here are just a huge basket. Now, some of the things are really good. Some of the things I'm happy with. Some of the things I'm not happy with. So let me know in the comments below whether you'd like me to do a show and tell of my favorite, my non-favorite, and the things that were a bit blah. And I will do that on my unlocked channel rather than on my original channel, because it just doesn't do that well on that channel. So I don't really want to put in the effort on that channel and fluff up the algorithm, or confuse the algorithm, shall we say. Okay, so this is my office. My coffee's there. Yep, perfect temperature. So I'm just going to spin you around, give you a look at what I've accomplished. Tidy office, ready for me to get started for my day of working at my desk. That needs to make its way to the bin through the garage, so I'll do that shortly. The toys need to be put away, Daisy. Let me put them away. Okay, there we go. All right, let's spin around. So this is the living room, all tidy. Hey, Daisy. It looks a bit boring, but it's basically my factory reset. I'm going to live with this for a couple of days, maybe a week, I don't know, however long it takes for me to come up with an idea of how I want to freshen it up. It's fine. It's not glamorous. It's not anything fancy. It's just clean, tidy, and factory reset, as I said. I ended up cleaning up the kitchen. There's a bundle of clothes that I'll be ironing later today after I finish my admin. It's not too bad. It hasn't quite made it past the bench top, so that's good. The kitchen is clean, tidy, organized. This section here is all tidy, reset. I do love how these have turned out. Absolutely love them. I just think that's gorgeous. I don't know, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I love it. I think it's just absolutely adorable. And I don't mind this little section here. I have my knives and my chopping boards. I use those all the time, so I really can't be bothered putting them out of sight. I know some people feel that knives on a bench top aren't attractive, but because of how these are set up, because of the stand that they come in, they're really awkward to put in a drawer. So I don't bother. They're fine there. They get used every day, multiple times a day. My fruit bowl, I've refreshed it. I think that's really cute. And my kitchen bench is nice and clear. There is nothing on it. So I'm happy with that. I didn't end up putting away my kettle and my Nespresso. See what I mean? Oh my God. Do you think it's because I've put sugar back in here? That's it, I'm taking it out. Because there were no ants there 10 minutes ago when I put out the sugar in there. So that's going to go away. Bugger, I've got to clean it up again. That is so frustrating. Do you know that I've sprayed that area out multiple times and they keep coming back? Deep breath, Deborah. It's fine. Okay. Hey, Daisy. And then this is the dining area. I've tidied up this spot here with the plants. I think that's fine. Just a few plants there, nothing else. I love that yak picture, because when Isaac and I went to Nepal for my 50th and went to Base Camp Everest, Base Camp 1 Everest, we actually saw those. So it's not just wall art. For me, it's a memory that every time I look at it, I remember actually seeing them in the natural environment. So I'm really happy with that. The space here, the plants have been refreshed. I've repotted some because they were in too small a pot. Some I've just left it be. This area here is clear and I like it like that. I've removed the photos, the candles. This is fine. This is just my plant corner. And all these plants are doing really well here, so I don't dare move them. These plants here are also sort of doing well. That back one there is sort of struggling a little bit. But these plants, I can't remember what they're called. They're doing really well. They're growing. So I'm happy. I will leave them there. until they stop doing well. But because they're giving me more leaves, I'm quite content to leave them there. My tabletop is reset. I've removed the tablecloth, the white tablecloth. I just go through phases where sometimes I want a tablecloth there and sometimes I don't. I need more napkins. I store my napkins like this. I think it's cute. This is an old candle container, and I just put my napkins in there so that they're nice and handy, easy to reach. And this is refreshed. I wish the lighting was better. It's a bit of a grey Melbourne day today. This makes me feel calmer. It really does. Except those ants don't. Those ants are the bane of my existence. And we can't figure out where they're coming from. Look, look. Bugger. Okay, I'll flip this off and clean those up. I cannot stand ants in my house. As a reward for getting the job done, all tidied up and resettled, I'm taking myself to the post office to pick up a parcel that I've just been told has arrived for me. And you're probably wondering why, if I'm going to the post office to pick up a parcel, I can't just get the PO box parcel. Because one, I don't have the key to the PO box. Kevin has that. But two, they're two separate post offices. So our PO box is in our old post office, and so my local post office is a different one. And that's where my parcels get delivered to. And this is how my office gets messy, because now I've just gotten part of my order for what I'm thinking I'm going to be filming in an upcoming vlog. So anyway, here is the skirt from Target. It's the knit midi skirt in black. Midi. Oh, so it's going to be, let me see. Okay, that length there. And then the top, which is this. It's gathered a little bit on the side. I think it was supposed to be blue, but I can't tell the difference between that blue and this. So my plan is to wear the top with this skirt. Now, this skirt feels a little bit heavy, so that's my concern, that I may not actually end up taking it with me because it's quite heavy and I'm trying to be conscious of packing light, as in weight light, but not clothes light. See, this is much lighter. These will go here. I'll be filming a video about what I'm going to be packing for Europe in the next few weeks once everything arrives. I've bought a couple of things from Target and I've bought a couple of things from Dharma Bums. I love their clothes and I know many of you also do. They are quite expensive, so I did wait while they were on sale, and I've bought a couple of things at half price, which were quite worth it. So can't wait for those to come, and I'll show them to you in an upcoming video. So now I need to put these somewhere. They're not going to look messy, but they're going to be handy. So that's going to become my stash of piles of clothes for an upcoming video. And so that's what happens sometimes. My office starts looking messy, not because I'm just messy, but because I've got things happening. So like I've got in that corner my Easter presents that I've got to actually start wrapping up. In that corner now I'm starting a pile of clothes for an upcoming video. And that's how it happens. I'm going to catch up on my ironing and also get dinner organized, and I'll show you that quickly. Okay, yesterday for dinner I made, I don't know if you're Italian and from the southern part of Italy. It's called, salsicce e frielli. Anyway, yesterday I tried to make an interpretation of that, and I bought some small sausages, small Italian sausages, and I cooked them with kale. And there's a little bit left over, and I thought, well, perfect. Kale is the ingredient to make Tuscan soup. So I thought, okay, I've got some beans, I've got some cheese rind, I've got some bacon. I'm just going to whip it all up and turn all the leftovers into a Tuscan soup. And I'll show you how I do that. I sort of feel like a bit of soup sometimes. When I'm feeling a little bit flustered and I'm feeling a little bit like overwhelmed, I guess you could say, there's sometimes a nice hearty soup
is just what I crave. I like having a tidy house, having some nice comfort food, like a nice hearty soup. It's just what the soul craves, right? And that's what I'm craving today. And coincidentally, I've got leftovers that I can use to just turn it into something new. Now, I just remembered that I put heaps of garlic in this yesterday, so I don't need these garlic cloves. It'll be way too much. These are the sausages. They were mini Italian sausages. I'm just going to cut them up into little cubes and fry these off with the onion. Now, this is my interpretation of a Tuscan soup. It's just basically cooking what I've got in the fridge and getting ideas from what the recipe might have originally had. There's another one there. And something that enhances the flavor of the soup is adding the Parmesan rind. And I have a few of these that I'll throw in here to cook. Adding a little bit of celery, a carrot. I'll add in leftover kale, a can of beans, just cannellini beans, a couple of tomatoes, or 3 little tomatoes from my garden, a teaspoon of Vegeta, just for extra flavor. I like to add water from a kettle that's just been boiled, and I just cover. I don't know, I don't really measure, I just look at the consistency and I think, yep, this will be right. And I might add a little bit more because I know it'll evaporate. So just enough to cover the vegetables. And then when it comes to a boil and the carrots are cooked, then I'll add some pasta. And I'm just adding some farfalle that I've got handy. This isn't normally what you would put in, but it's what I've got. And it's just enough for the soup and for the 4 of us tonight. I don't want too much pasta in it because otherwise then it becomes a pasta dish. It's more just to add some extra dimension to the soup. And now that it's at a rapid boil, I add the pasta, stir it in, and once the pasta is cooked, it's ready to go. Now it is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's nice and early, but what happens is the pasta goes really mushy and soft, which is perfect for soup. You don't want really al dente pasta in your soup. At least I don't anyway. Now I ended up adding some more water to it because, well, it had evaporated. And this is just the right consistency now. I'm just going to turn off now. Put the lid on. Perfect. Although I don't think a little bit of chili would go astray. Hey, that's ready for tonight.